the WWE and TNA did this huge partnership today. Did you hear about this?
I have not.
All right. So WWE and TNA are partnering, and they're basically going to share a roster, it seems, between TNA and NXT, which is pretty cool. I mean, we've seen some crossover already. Hendry, of course, has been, on both sides of the equation there, so to speak, in the past year. But I guess they're going to be able to share, their roster between live events, both pay-per-view and, just regular shows and stuff. So really exciting.
Well, I tell you who it's really exciting for is for all the TNA guys. So, right. I mean, man, I tell them that, hey, it's, when we were WCW, there was nothing positive about merging with the WWF. There was nothing. Right. But because we were trying to beat the WWF, so there was nothing positive about merging. When you're TNA, you got a great company, a lot of great talent. But you're still at the level they are. Merging with the WWE is phenomenal news. You give Marcus Alexander Bagwell my second, third, fourth, fifth year in the business. I'm working for TNA. We merged with WWE, and I'm excited.
Absolutely. I mean, just the exposure that these wrestlers are going to get, being able to, go on two completely different platforms, I think is incredible.
Netflix.
Right.
It's a whole nother galaxy now, man. It's crazy.
So this is going to be just NXT for now, it seems. But okay, I mean, I would think that you would have that, that upside to it.
Now,
of course.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't WWE own NXT?
Yes. But okay. So only WWE Raw is going to be on Netflix as of right now. But right. I've seen a lot of people really pushing because, I was just in Atlanta with you the last couple of days. I just got home yesterday, but what's really cool is I was at the Airbnb and I just hit the Netflix button on the remote there, and the first thing that pops up is Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
So the accessibility to that is huge. So people that don't have cable, that can't see SmackDown, they can't go on and see NXT, they can see Raw. So it would be great if Netflix, took over all the programming of WWE. And sure. I would think that's the way to go, long term.
I believe what it made when I saw on Netflix, what it made me think of is before it's over, we're going to see everything on Netflix. Right. Is what it made me think. I mean, really, this is way above my pay grade.
Sure.
But I really think that what is holding them back from taking ABC over, NBC over, CBS? I know there's millions and billions of dollars there, but Netflix is millions and billions. I mean, how do you compete with Amazon? How do you do that?
I don't know. I mean, those are the big players, right? You have your Amazon Prime, and then you also have Netflix. I mean, and there's some other ones out there, but I think those, to me, are the biggest companies. And YouTube's a big one as well, backed by Google, of course. So there's a lot of key players involved here, and I mean, wrestling's in the door with a lot of these companies as it is. So
sure,
it's an exciting time. We know that
it is for wrestling. Period. I mean, here. Back in even in WCW, well, I'll tell you, before WCW called, for example, it was the WWF. I mean, that was really it. You had a bunch of little companies, and there was a WWF, and then WCW. And how I used to explain it is on the golf course. On the golf course, everybody knew the WWF, but nobody knew WCW. So you'd always just say, and I never lied. I would say we work for WCW. And I explain it. Ted Turner, you throw the Ted Turner name. You show you're driving a Mercedes, that you're making money. You have to do all the cheesy stuff to prove that you're not some kind of broke person trying to make a living. Right. But it was defending the business is all I've ever done for my whole career. And except that NWO run was the only time I didn't. But it just, on the golf course, they'd be like, oh, you mean like WWF? And I'm like, no, it's like that, but it's WCW. Well, same thing now. You try to say TNA on a golf course, nobody knows what that is. They don't know, so, but they do know the WWE, they do know those three letters. And it's just something they've always came with, and that's power. They're just a powerful company.
Absolutely, and it's too bad because I mean TNA's got some great stuff. They've had great stuff, and they've been around for we did a video on this a couple of days ago. They've been around for now what 23 years, going on 23 years. So
Wow.
I mean, for them to still be regarded in that way as like the kind of bootleg,
Yeah.
off-brand version of WWE, it's too
Well,
bad. But I think this will elevate them for sure.
no doubt about it. Ironically, on my television, when I turn it on, you can click on something before you go. I watch YouTube television. I don't
Okay.
watch. I don't watch the channel YouTube. It's called YouTube TV. It's black, and the
Yep.
other one's white for some
Right.
reason. I don't
Yeah,
quite
it's a
know the
different
difference.
different application. Yep.
The different app. So I go to the black, but before I go there, real easy access is TNA. So I love wrestling. I always click on it, and when I do, today it was really and sometimes it'll show, like yesterday it was Scott Steiner in the ring, 2011 with James Storm and Bobby Roode and Scott Steiner and somebody else. It was a really good match and just a lot of fun to watch. I like watching that when I turn it on. This one was like January 2nd, 2025. So it just happened somewhere. Looked like they run their stuff out of Center Stage.
Yeah. I think they are now. Yeah. Yep.
It looked like familiar because I've done, I've done years of tapings out of Center Stage. It looked a little bit like Center Stage. They've just got a different setup. But they just it was exciting to watch. It looked like a top show. You had Nemeth come out, and he was always I felt like he was always one of the best guys up there. Him, your LA Knight, those kind of stars always are the guys that that are always going to have a job, man. They can work, they look good, they can wrestle anybody. They're just stars, And so Nemeth is on there, but he's got his brother coming up, and it was I thought Nemeth did great, but then the Frankie character with the Elvis glasses and stuff, and his last name I can't ever remember. It's Arcarian or Kazarian.
Yeah,
and he's still in great shape. He looks phenomenal, and it just looked like a product today when I watched. Sometimes it doesn't, but today it looked like a product. And that's what it takes. You gotta look. It's gotta look the part, man.
Yeah. Well, they seem to have gone through some phases where it was really good. I mean, I remember when Kurt Angle was there, Sting was there, Scott Steiner was there. It was great. And then it had a few lean years there, but it's gotten much better. I actually
Bischoff, Flair.
Yeah.
They were all there,
Mick Foley was there. Yeah, they've had some really big names come through there, and I think a lot of people just aren't aware of it because back then it was hard to come by. Now you can actually access it through Prime Video as well, which makes it more accessible. Right. YouTube TV, as you mentioned. So yeah, and Nick Nemeth. I mean, I always thought as Dolph Ziggler, he was just underutilized in WWE. It used to drive me nuts because he looked great. He was great on the microphone. He had a pretty good gimmick as well, but now he's coming into his own with TNA. So I think that's kind of elevating them as well, having somebody that used to be WWE there that, is able to come over and kind of bring that with it. So
that's exactly what I felt today watching it. Like they were a top show. And it's, again, it's some little things. That's my opinion. Just from first looking, it was an A roster and A talent. And everybody believes in Joe Hendry.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. So he's really getting over. He's one of my favorites, and it's just I like how they're doing him. It's just all really it's fun to watch that they're doing well.
Absolutely.